Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Let us begin. Click, click, click. Hello, everyone, and welcome again to my second office here in Chinatown, Vancouver. I'm at Maxim's Baking Restaurant in the back booth, and I just finished having my lunch and sitting down and deciding what to talk about. I might actually make this into a series where I don't know, where I just talk about all things photography, all things cameras, and kind of what I'm up to right now. So right now I have the Leica SL2 with the 35 Apple Summicron, amazing lens. It's a huge lens, but I actually did compare it head to head against with the M11P and the 35 Summicron M mount. And both lenses are amazing, wide open. I find that the L mount Apple Summicron is optically better, but I like the character on the 35 Apple Summicron wide open. And I might insert a couple of images that I took. It's really hard to tell on YouTube. You'd have to really kind of pixel peep. But overall, I find that the M mount Apple Summicron, it's like what, a fifth the size and maybe like a third the weight of this lens here. And that's what it comes down to, is if you want the ultimate image quality and you want autofocus in the Leica ecosystem, then you would get this lens here, the 35. I mean, the Apple Summicron, they have it in the 28, 35, and 50, 75, and 90, I think, in the L mount. Or with the M mount, you only get it with the 35 and the 50 right now. Oh no, maybe there's also 75, 90. There's no 28 Apple Summicron M mount yet. And that'd be amazing if they make that version, but I can only imagine how expensive that lens will be. But having this is great, having autofocus, but at the same time, it's also the size and the weight is somewhat burdensome. I do have the D-Lux 8, which I love because it is just so small and compact. It has the perfect sort of focal range of 24 to 75, f1.7 to f2.8 with a micro four thirds sensor. And this is a great, I know Justin Mott in Vietnam, he says he loves using his when he's riding his bicycle, and he enjoys using it as a scouting camera. So if he's on a shoot, let's just say, I think one of the shoots he had was like for a hotel. The day one, you don't want to show up with like 8 prime lenses. You just show up with this, you know what focal length you're at, you scout, you take some images, you get a good sense of what you're trying to get. And then when it's on the shooting day, you bring your big guns, right? You bring your SL3 or your M11 or whatever Leica camera system that you'll be using. But yeah, I enjoy using this. I think as a point and shoot for myself, I prefer this even over the Q3. Just because, I mean, the Q3, obviously, the image quality is better. I am a 28 mil shooter, so I actually prefer 28. But when you have 24, 28 feels a little bit more restrictive. And because I do have an SL2, and because I have the M10R, and right here I have my M7 camera here, because I have other cameras, I don't need my point and shoot to be at that Q3 60 megapixel level. You know, if I had a Q3 with the 28, then I don't know how often I would bring the SL2 out with the 24. It would just seem like it'd be better just to take the Q3. So not that I would never buy a Q3 or Q2, but for now, I'm happy with the D-Lux 8 as my Leica point shoot, my M's for, you know, the M type work, more documentary, light, compact, more artsy. Also, my days off, I just like the look of the camera and how it feels like in my hand. And then when I'm doing some series photography, if I'm doing some testing, if I have a specific project, or if I need autofocus, then I'll be using the SL2. And so, what else can we talk about here? Fujifilm. I do still shoot Fujifilm. I've had some people ask me, do I shoot Fuji anymore? Yes, I do. Almost all my studio work, my overhead videos, my overhead product photography, and my talking head, which I haven't done in a while. Right now I'm using the Pocket Osmo III. and that works out perfectly for when I'm out remote like this and I don't want to be overburdened with bringing all my big gear. But in my studio, Fujifilm X-T4 with the 16 to 80 f4. It's not a sexy kit, but it gets the work done, and that's why I continue shooting with the X-T4 and the X Pro 3. I love that camera. I still think that overall it is the best camera that Fujifilm has made in the last 20 years, even more so than the X100 series for me because it is interchangeable lens. What I really like about the X100 is that it's a leaf shutter. I like using high flash sync. This D-Lux 8 also has a leaf shutter. Most point and shoots have leaf shutters, so you can do high flash sync. But besides that, the X Pro 3 is superior in every other way. It's weather sealed fully. It's interchangeable lens. You can put whatever lens on there. You can adapt different lenses and put Leica M glass on there. It has a titanium body. I love the reverse screen, which I don't think the X Pro 4 is going to have. It's weather sealed. Did I already mention that? Yes, I did. Dual card slot. Has better heat dissipation, so if you're doing video work with it, it doesn't have an HDMI out where the X100 does, but I've done vlogging and I've done talking head and overhead video with the X Pro 3, and it is way more stable than the X100, and the fact that I can use different lenses on it makes it even better. So yes, I do still shoot with Fuji, actually quite a bit, but it's more off screen or behind the camera instead of in front. But forward facing, I shoot mostly with Leica, and on my days off, I shoot mostly with Leica, and with stills, I shoot mostly with Leica, especially my M mount cameras. I just enjoy shooting with M mount, and this year is the 70th anniversary of the Leica M mount, started in 1954 with the Leica M3, and this is the M7 that came out in 2002. You can see on top here, as I've shown many times, it has the maple leaf. This is in 2002. Leica had, I think it was like, they had different countries. They're featuring different countries that year. And for the M7 that I have, it's the 50th anniversary of LCAN, which is Ernst Lights Canada, with its factory in Canada. And they made 50 copies of these. And so I love this. I have the Camera Craft grip on here, as well as the square hood, that little small brass shutter, soft shutter release there. And so this is, and also the 40M Roker, which I love this lens here. So I have some film in here I need to finish shooting with, and so I'm going to just finish up here. I don't even know what I'm going to call this series. I probably only post about 20% of what I shoot. A lot of these videos end up just not going anywhere because I don't really know how it'll fit, and maybe I should just post these videos. I mean, I'm just rambling, right? And so if I do end up posting it, let me know if you have any questions down below. If not, then I'm just talking into thin air. So thanks for watching. We'll talk to you soon. And happy shooting. Alrighty. Click, click, click. Peace.